Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Margie. I'm a Hilk empath, and I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I didn't sleep very good last night, but I freaking feel great. I woke up 1, then at 2. I know I slept because I dreamt. So, we'll see. Today feels good to me. Just had the partial lunar eclipse yesterday in Sagittarius. Or I guess in some places it's, oh, we gotta clean theirs today, I see. Some places it's, anyway, we'll just, Sagittarius full moon in it. So I called this talk, what did I call it? Something tuning harmonic convergence. And what that means to me is we all have our own tune. when we incarnate, when we pass through the soul sac chute, some of us come out different ways, you know. I was cesarean. I'm not sure why, because they said Mom was tiny, she's 5 foot, and my brother was closer to normal birth weight, I think. I think they said he was big for his age. They had to do a C-section to her. Of course, when she was pregnant with him, she was a half inch from being as round as she was tall. But me, I was only 6 pounds 4 ounces. I wasn't but I was still cesarean. She's whatever, you know. My face didn't get all smushed up, you know. I think people with cesarean, since they're, you know, that's how, like, there's belief systems, not necessarily mine. I don't necessarily believe in everything I read and I see. Some of it I take on as truth, but some of it I take on as a bunch of crap. I don't pick it up because it takes up room for more truth, you know. And so I like that song, but it doesn't really fit the talk I'm trying to do right now. So, you know, we all and we get tuned by our environment. And when I think of tuning is like high and low vibrations, high and low frequencies, you know. We're just little receptors, and so we pick up on what we're given. Some people, a lot of people, I think, I'd like to believe, I don't know. There's no really any way to confirm nor deny the validity of any stats, really. But that we, you know, mostly people are born into kind and loving environments. I know I've seen it because I see it all over my feed, you know. I've seen it for years and years, how much people care about the people that they care about, you know, and the things that they do for them to show that they care about them, you know. I think they do it because they care. Some people do that stuff because they look at it as means of manipulation. Of well, look at all this stuff I've done for you. Don't you remember I did this? That's, you know, that's all that low vibrational shit that brings people down, you know, because people feel guilty, like they need to do something to make it right, to balance, you know. It's all tools of manipulation people are figuring out. So we all have masculine and feminine energy in us, and sometimes there's more one than the other, because people get caught up in gender roles. They get caught up in, you know, the sex of their being, their soul sac, the sex, and then so with the sex comes these responsibilities of imposed programs that have been passed down generation after generation, and sometimes the soul sac isn't a welcome recipient of the vibration that's being impeded upon them, and they will rebel. They were, you know, or they will comply. They'll either comply, go with this, you know, or they will rebel. They will meet it, their life and their imposed perception as a positive, and then just, you know, cooperate, or they're gonna say, no, there's a different way for me. I ain't doing this like I did, and just don't comply. Never, ever since I mean, yeah, I have an idea of what it would be like for me to be in a committed partnership, but that idea for me is entirely different than what other people see it. Because look at all the people in the world that just all they dreamt about their whole entire life is finding the other person that made them want to be a better person. Why don't people want to be better people, loving by themselves? Why is it the reflection of another being that initiative. Well, all that stuff, all that old programming stuff is going away. So people are coming into themselves, or, women are coming into their being comfortable with that. I think masculine and feminine energies are just misleading. Maybe I don't know. But I'm gonna have to give that one some thought, because I think masculine and I think it's just easier because it makes it easier for people to associate with, like. But I think people got the wrong idea, because like a lot of masculine energy, I think, um, like aggression and stuff comes out as masculine, but the reality of it is it's really feminine energy. Because I look at a lot of these men that are just like roar to protect their family. I don't look at that as masculine energy. I look at that as feminine energy, you know, because it's the mother, it's the mother bear, it's the mother that is the protector, it's the mother. And in some cultures, freaking males, if the big kid don't vibrate, the male will eat it. You know, if the male has an idea that there's something wrong with their kid, they'll eat their own kid. It happens with tigers. Yeah, yeah, they do that. You know, lions eat their own kin. You know, so in the animal world, which we are a part of, people have created a world that is just really full of imagination and reindeer games. You know, politics, religion. What was the other? Economics. They're all made up. And then whenever anybody makes up something, there's somebody that's making it up. There's somebody at the top that is delegating, and there always is in every organization. So when people determine, to pay themselves so much and then not help other people, it creates resistance. And then it also, division. Anytime anyone wants to create division, anyone is create, and I see division being created by freaking, paid membership required. Especially in the spiritual world, this shit is all freaking the same knowing, man. This shit is all the same knowing. So for people to freaking take something of spirit that is free, that we all have, that we're all supposed to tap into and become more aware of, and then to get something that is false for something that is true, that just tells me what heart space the people are coming from. That's why I always talk about my spiritual stuff for fun and for free. If people appreciate what I have to say, they've showed me in gratitude, and a great deal of gratitude. I've gotten energetic gratuity, that's what tips are. I give tips here, and then people, I provide a service here with all the data I collect, through all the stuff I absorb, and, psychology, astrology, quantum physics, science, not math. I like numbers, but I don't like math, because I had teachers that told me, oh, math is a constant, and I was like, finally, something that's consistent in this world. And then a few days later, the next week, the lesson was, well, here are some exceptions to the rules. Well, for things that are constants, there's no exception to the rules, so that interjected then it's all bullshit to me, and then I'm not going to listen to any of it, But then I had to go through college, take basic algebra, and then algebra 1, took it with a buddy. He and I used to meet freaking, I did everything I could. I would sweat. The teacher had told me to calm down. You're just like my son. He gets so worried, and she could recognize things in her son and me, and she helped me out. And I had a bad idea about her. When I walked in, I saw a tiny a woman, dark brown skin, beautiful little lady. I assumed, I was like, she's from India. I'm gonna fail this class because I'm not gonna understand her words because of her inflection and stuff. And the only thing that I couldn't understand is she'd read word problems, and there is a horse, and she said hose. I thought it was, but anyway, I passed the class because I did everything I could. I went in early, I stayed late. I'm just like, I don't. It's because I was so consumed by the fear, because I was on a schedule, because I was on track to graduate before my enlistment was up. And I did it by like 22 days. That's how close I came. So I couldn't afford to not pass a CLEP, because in the military you can just CLEP out, and I don't know why you can't CLEP out in civilian world too. Wouldn't that be a nice thing if you could just CLEP out, if you knew all the knowledge and you could just read it, and take a test and then, CLEP out. You can't CLEP out in civilian world. You can't just, you get a booklet, you go in, you read, and because you could just, I did that for 2 courses, is I took test and then without actually taking the course, and if you pass it, then they considered you, you're knowledgeable enough. But no, because egos have to pay themselves to freaking, exuberant amounts of money, because people that have egos like that, the self-will-worn white, that get carried away, and they just, nothing ever satisfies them. Nothing will ever satisfy an egomaniac. Nothing. And what they have, they will like for a moment, and then they will start looking at how they can adjust it and modify. I know, I've been one. I know. I had to get good with just being good with me, and not, and it ain't always been easy. So last night people are last night I saw a video of lightning strikes hitting the Washington Monument. Storms, see, static electricity. Storms, we create storms with the dissonance in ourselves, with all of the ways that we're thinking one way and acting a different way. See, there's an earth for the way that everybody thinks, and there's harmonic convergence. There's an earth for the way everybody thinks, and there's the earth for the way everybody acts. And we're getting the earth based on how people are acting, because their harmonic convergence is out of whack. See, because they don't get quiet. They look at their, the masculine element or femininity in them as weakness, or masculinity is freaking gross or whatever. They're not appreciating all the aspects of themselves, and they need to, because that's what's important and crucial to take out into the world, so that in every individual you can meet, you can recognize the aspects in you, so you can identify with them, so you can have a peaceful exchange. Supposed to be what, like a million? They always fluff numbers, man. They ain't never freaking, said anything that was true. They never nailed anything they ever said. They just freaking just keep inflating shit. And you ready for inflation? Because we're about to see inflation. Hope nobody has like things that they really, really freaking can't live without, because there's about a bunch of stuff about to go away. But that's okay, because when things go away, they come back to more better things. Less expensive, less costly. So, I get that when I saw the picture of the video with that storm and the light, the Da Vinci Code, go watch that. It's all this shit's true, man. They freaking make movies about it and then tell you, oh, it's just a movie, and then if you believe it, then you're crazy. But movies are based on a lot of truths. People there's dark and seedy in every paradigm, and there's levels in every group, and, people grow, especially those of the hierarchical mind, that people, I think everybody advances, they just do it in their own time. But you have these secret societies and clubs that the higher you get, they ask you to do weirder shit. But because people are power hungry, they're willing to do the weird shit. And now we have freaking a whole world full of really weird shit going on. And people don't even think about, they're not even considering the amount of electricity, that lightning strike, that is electricity that goes into the ground. That ground, DC, is charged. It's charged. It's charged right now. So anybody that goes out and walks, they are charged. There's not going to be, unless they know how to ground themselves and they're all doing the practices every day and the disciplines. And I'm pretty sure in DC that don't happen, because all those fuckers, I did a talk about that, about the size of DC and the very small population of what it is, and how much funds it absorbs. There's enough for everybody. People need to degreed and stop being so freaking stingy, man. And stop thinking that money counts for shit. because all I see is more money matters to people. I just see a really, 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 really teeny, teeny, tiny spark inside. And it needs to be stroked. Little spark. Here's some money. Oh, that'll make me happy. Here's some chasing sensations. Oh, that'll make me happy only for a little while because I don't have enough inside to keep me going. Oh, all the excitement from that's gone. They also call it retail therapy too. You know, when you feel bad, you're so sad, you go out buy yourself a new pair of shoes. Peaks your little, or some people buy shoes. Some people buy freaking houses. Some people buy islands. Some people buy children. Some people buy sex. Some people buy, it's all your harmonic convergence and how you're balancing inside and what that tune makes. See, the way I look at it is when people act one way, love and light, love and light, love and light, but inside they're like, you know, crazy satanic ritual, freaking bloodletting, freaking pure brats, whatever, you know. It's that, it's the action and the words, you know. So people need to start becoming more congruent with how, I don't fucking care if people are going to be whatever they're going to be. People do terrible things, you know. I really don't care. I'm just not going to hang out with them. I'm just not going to. So you're never going to void the world of freaking all the darkness and lower, because if you took all the darkness away, then you just have all the light, and then people start looking at stuff that's light as dark, because you have to have the duality. It's important. So people are coming. They're tuning in, man. Because everybody got, you know, stay home, do what you're told. Ba, ba, ba. Sheep. I never did what I was told. I never believed people just because they were born before me. Because in a lot of ways, I always knew I was smarter. But they knew it too. And they also knew that I was very sensitive, so they would use tools of manipulation and tell me how stupid I was, and then I would believe it. But now I just go completely by energy and synchronicity and signs and whatnot, and those never lied to me. If anything's gonna lie to me, I lie to myself. Yeah, I lie to myself. I tie an outcome to a situation, and I'm not supposed to do that at all, ever, because I sell myself short. Yeah. So what else was I gonna talk about? Charge. There's a lot, and we had storms here. Temperature drop. I guess there's supposed to be snow in the higher elevations at some places. I don't know. There's some report. Maybe, maybe not. So there's little pockets of energy. I wonder what the latitude of DC is. I know I've looked it up before because I go by latitude and longitude. Oh, I think it's the 40th parallel, actually. Latitude, because it's in line with Reading. It's because it's that Masonic temperature stuff with all the stuff, you know, why they have, if you look at it, if you look at freaking a map of DC, it's like, it looks like a tool. I'm not getting into all that. And they put up places strategically on latitude and longitude Earth grids because of frequency. It's not an accident. Everything freaking the control freaks do are deliberate. Everything is on purpose. Everything is done in accordance to code and all that stuff. All that shit that they said was bullshit and didn't exist. There is a substantial amount of truth to it. It's 38. It's still it's 38 degrees north, which still falls into my plus or minus 2 of the 2 degrees, because I grew up in Redding, California. That's 40. I think it's 39, 40 minutes or whatever. Anyway, so people are figuring it out. We're all just energy. There's some gross and greedy people that have been using our energy and making us feel bad so they can profit, because when we feel bad, we get sick, because it's dis-ease and it creates disease. And when you feel bad, you do things to make yourself feel better, but the things that you do to make yourself feel better actually make you sicker. Then you got to go to the doctor and pay a bunch of people for their egos. When really, see, is it called the Hippocratic Oath yet? Hippocratic Oath yet? Do you know there's a time that all frickin' medical practitioners had to know how to read a chart, astrology chart? Yeah. There's that timeline that existed. So we just finished up a big, huge timeline. For me, the one that is most significant to me started back in 2016 May. It was the Sagittarius strawberry moon, 21st May, that wrapped up. So I don't know. I never know the answers of how things are going to go 100% because nobody does. Because everybody has free will. We do have a time, however, to create a heaven on earth right now. All we got to do is get past a very, very small fence of fucking control freaks. It's like right there. We'll see. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.